What up, everybody, and welcome to Baz on Blades. My name is Baz, and I talk about blades, and today I'm super duper excited. I'm always excited when I get a new knife in, and it proves to be everything that I hoped and wished that it would be. Today, we've got another product from Civivi Knives. We've got the Civivi Knives Stormridge fixed blade. This is a brand new model from Civivi Knives. I pre-ordered this. Okay, that's how excited I was. From the moment I saw this design when Civivi dropped it on Instagram, I wanted this knife. And I'm going to tell you right now, you can pause this video right here, go to your favorite cutlery retailer and buy you one of these right now. It is that damn good. Now, of course, I did get mine from Justin at White Mountain Knives, but I think he might be sold out right now. You can check for yourself, and I'll tell you what the prices were there. There's 3 different versions of this knife. This is a black blade finish with black G10. They have a satin blade finish with green micarta, and I think it's the same green canvas micarta that was on the Propagnator that I recently reviewed. So go back and take a look at that to see that micarta. And then there is a third version that's in like a desert or a coyote brown. I think it's a Cerakote on the blade, and then matching G10 scales. Of course, I went with the black on black because I had a specific purpose in mind for this knife, and I wanted it to look sort of tactical, as I wanted this to be the perfect carry backup fixed blade knife. And damn, this thing is really, really close to being perfect. So all 3 of these versions go for $89.25 at most of the retailers, I'm sure. Now, at White Mountain, you throw in a 10% discount code, and you're down at $80.32. I think that is a very fair price for a very good knife design, very well made in quality materials. So, let's pull out the packaging on this. It is the Civivi white box packaging. This is what you're looking for, and you can see this is bladed in Nitro V stainless, and we will talk a little bit about that blade steel. Inside the box, you're going to find the normal box candy that Civivi we send cut, throw in some stickers and pamphlets and whatnot, and you will find the another excellent Kydex sheath out of the Civivi shops. Those guys are kicking ass on their Kydex awesomeness. So, let's bring the knife back here and knock out the dimensions. Now, they are advertising this blade length as 3.9 inches, but I'm going to call it 4 inches, and that is for legal reasons. When you do a blade length, you need to measure the maximum length of the blade, because all law enforcement will measure it that way. If you live in a state that has a blade length limit, you need to err on the safe side. So we're going to call this a 4-inch blade. That's 10 centimeters. The blade stock thickness is thinner, okay, 119 thousandths of an inch, or just slightly over 3 millimeters. The blade width, 1.05 inches, or 26.8 millimeters. Your handle length is about 4¼ inches, or 10½ centimeters. Handle thickness at the thickest part, 568 thousandths of an inch, or 14.47 millimeters. The handle width at the widest part up here at the guard is 1.28 inches, or 32.63 millimeters. Overall length, 8½ inches, or 21½ centimeters. Behind the edge thickness is no surprise with that thin blade stock, a full flat grind, and coming from Civivi Knives, 14 thousandths of an inch behind the edge, and that is 0.37 millimeters. The weight, very low weight for this size of knife, 3.63 ounces for the knife alone. You add in the badass sheath, you're at 6.6 ounces. and that is 103 grams or 188 grams respective. And let's go ahead and take a look at this sheath where we're talking about weight. A lot of the weight in this sheath is in the tech lock that it comes with. Tech locks are basically big old blocks of fiber reinforced plastic. They are fairly heavy. I would think that this sheath, literally half of its weight or more is in that tech lock. Now, I've already told you this sheath is awesome. We're going to look at it a little bit later. I just wanted to tell you about the weight. If you were to put that, say for scout carry, you put a couple of pull the dot loops on it, or you put a loop on it to carry at IWB, it's going to be even a little lighter than it already is with that tech lock on it. So material-wise in the blade, we're with Nitro V stainless steel, and this is not the first knife that I feature here that was in Nitro V, but I haven't talked a lot about this steel. So this time around, I did a lot of research. I'm going to give you the highlights right now. Now, Nitro V steel was developed by New Jersey Steel Baron. For those of you that are sort of on the inside of the knife industry, New Jersey Steel Baron, that's Aldo Bruno, and he basically supplies blade steels for custom knife makers. And I believe he also is at the volume now where he is supplying specialty steels to manufacturers as well. This steel was developed in-house, and what it basically is an improved version of AEB-L. It has added nitrogen and added vanadium. Not big amounts. They're not carbide adders. They are there for grain refinement. This is a fine-grained, refined stainless steel. Now, I did look across the internet, and what I was looking for, I was looking on the forums at all of the posts by the smaller knife makers, low production number, and custom makers that have dipped their toes into the Nitro V pool. And they absolutely love this steel. It is typically Rockwelled around 5860, and at that you get good wear resistance on the edge. Impact resistance is good to very good, and corrosion resistance is very good. I saw many examples of this steel being used on larger outdoor choppers, and I saw where those were tested against copper pipe. There was a knife maker at one of his larger knives. He cut apart an aluminum ladder with the knife with no edge damage. Okay? It is, for what it is a tough steel with good wear resistance for edge retention. And plus, you get the corrosion resistance. And it's actually a fairly cheap steel to source as well, compared to many other steels in its range. I would say it's going to place a little bit better than 14C 28N, and I think that's going to be in that toughness and wear resistance. Now, it's not a miracle steel. It's still a mid-grade performance stainless, a high-carbon stainless, but I think we're going to see more and more out of Nitro V over the years. Getting into the handle, fixed blades are so easy. You've got two materials here. You've got G10 for the scales. You've got stainless T8 Torx screws holding it together, and that's it. Let's get up here. We'll look at that G10, beautiful G10 graining. I love machined G10. When it's machined on a radius and it starts revealing the layers of the fiberglass matting that's in the G10, it's very wood-like character showing that. So this is a three-dimensionally machined handle design. It's awesome. It's awesome. So let's get on to fit and finish. It's perfect. I just, across my fit and finish on my cheater board up here where I keep my info, I've just got perfect written. The blade grind is absolutely symmetric from one side to the other. It is wonderful. It is a full flat grind. You have a very workable sharpening choil. It gets way out there on the blade, so you can resharpen without any smiley face. And the only marking on the front is the Civivi C and Civivi name brand marking. And on the back, if you can see it, let's get way up here, right here. That looks sort of like a scratch. That's the blade steel. I can't even read that. I'm just guessing it's the blade steel. It could actually be a scratch. You guys are like, oh my God, this blind motherfucker. He can't even see that. So there's no markings on it. The black finish is very well done. You've got some killer jimping forward of the hand placement and back in the handle as well. That does go along to strategic placement on the inside of the handle and at the butt end on the spine. Moving forward to the handle area, it is beautifully, beautifully machined, these scales. They are, like I said, they are radially machined. This is double waisted. You can see it's waisted across the width here, and it is also slightly Coke bottle waisted there, or wasp waisted across the thickness. And when I measured the thickness, the 568 thousandths of an inch, or 14.47 millimeters, I did that at the center part. You do have a dip here and a dip here, and then a flare at the butt end and the guard end. It is just wonderfully, wonderfully made. Perfectly recessed hardware. Again, T8 hardware in that black finish. So you've got that overall black look. There's zero to complain about in the fit and finish on this knife. Look at that secondary grind, that edge bevel on this side to side. Let's look at the tip on the blade. It instantly, with zero pressure, instantly catches and pierces. Period. 14 thousandths behind the edge. I hit that in multiple spots and averaged that out up towards the tip. It's ridiculous. It's stupidly thin behind the edge. That thin blade stock. This is a very, very slicey blade grind. Very slicey. Let's get into ergos and utilitarian usage of this. We're already talking about this straight spined, moderately dropped drop point blade. It has a high tip, plenty of working belly here, a little bit of flat edge where you can get up tight on that and use that edge. You don't have a forward finger choil, which would have been a total waste at this size. It would have cost too much real estate on the blade, on the length of the cutting edge. Speaking of which, because this is a forward-canted, forward handle design, I did measure it at 4 inches. If you go up to the top here, it is 3.9 inches. It's basically a straight drop down to the cutting edge of the blade. So it's very efficient as far as the length of cutting edge to blade length. It is a very compact handle, but it is very ergonomic. It is, what I say, 568 thousandths thick. That feels absolutely perfect. But I want to stress, this is a compact companion hideout blade size knife. In my large hands with medium length chunky fingers, this is how it fits. Right here. It is plenty of enough handle for all sizes of hands. It is not overly thick. It is just the right amount of thickness to width ratio. Radially machined. It feels fantastic in the hand. It is exactly right. It is a compact handle on a compact knife, and that is the reason I look at this knife as a hideout knife. Now, it is companion sized. You are in that right at 4-inch blade length, but 119 thousandths stock thickness and 14 thousandths behind the edge. It's not a heavy-duty knife for a fixed blade. It is EDCable. It's a very slicey. It's in a good steel that's got good wear resistance and good impact resistance, so you could work with this knife. I would not be chopping with it. First of all, at 3.63 ounces, it's not heavy enough to chop with, and I damn sure would not be prying with that tip as it is thin. You have a nice, long, slow distill taper to this, so a lot of this blade is fairly thin, okay? It's not a heavy-duty knife. But if you want something that is lightweight, you can carry on your body, it doesn't weigh you down, it doesn't take up a lot of space, it is still a full-size tool in the hand, it's easy to conceal. This is one of the best designs I have seen from any manufacturer, period. I will be using this knife as a backup knife. Probably what I'm going to do is take the tech lock off of the sheath, and I'm going to put a loop on it or a length of string through this, or cord, not string, through the upper eyelet here, and I'm going to tuck it down inside my waistband, appendix carry on my weak side. As I carry a firearm most of the time on my strong side, I want my backup on my weak side. I can access it while retaining my firearm if I have to. Let's look at this sheath. It is nice, sturdy stock thickness. It is 80 thousandths Kydex. Look around the edge. This is just like the Propagnator sheath. It is beautifully, beautifully formed. Wonderfully done. I'm sure these are made in a vacuum system rather than a press. They have gotten this really, really good. And the fit, just like the Propagnator, is absolutely perfect with zero play. It has zero play, of course. Ow, that pop was my shoulder. And there is zero rattle at all. What a beautiful thumb ramp to push off of that sheath to draw it. And when you do, look where my thumb falls. Right on that ramp and that jimping. Damn. Something that is so simple and so often overlooked in the design of a sheath. I cannot stress how important it is that your sheath be as equally well designed as your knife, because you do not carry a fixed blade knife without the sheath. This sheath is wonderfully done. I don't see how it could be done any better. It is compact, well made, absolutely fantastic fit. You do get, it is a actual tech lock. It's a Terzula Mark tech lock. It's freaking wonderful. I can't say enough about that sheath. Yeah. Utility-wise, ergo-wise, a perfect user knife for what it is. It's not a big, heavy-duty chopper. It is a much lighter, faster, compact knife. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you have ever wanted the perfect backup knife with a 4-inch blade length in a compact design, the handle is not oversized, because just like the handle on your firearm, the handle on your knife is the hardest part to conceal when you are carrying it concealed, which you should do. You should always conceal your advantage from everybody around you, period. That is the only tactic as far as I am concerned. I never open carry anything, ever. Well, Out in the woods, I'll open carry a firearm. But out in public, no. And I do not do that with my knife either. I could do another hour and a half of video here talking about how damn good this design is, how good the sheath is, how good they work together. I put this thing on my waist. The sheath, other than just the depth of the tech lock, and you know, the depth of the tech lock offsetting where your belt's going to go through to the sheath, it fits very tight up against the body. Like I say, you can take that tech lock off, put a couple of pull the dot loops on it. You could carry this scout carry at 6.6 ounces or 188 grams. It is on the light side for that. And again, that's with that tech lock on there. Okay, take that thing off and you're going to half the weight of that sheath. I bet you could get this down to less than 5 ounces taking that tech lock off, even with a couple of loops on it. Just a fantastic knife. Fantastic, super slicey. What is, you know, with my research on that Nitro V, this is looking to be a pretty good steel on the mid-range. I'm going to have to do a little more work with Nitro V, but on paper, I like it better than 14C 28N, and I would need to, beyond this, I think I would need to move up to a 154 CM ATS 34 BG 42 that nobody ever uses, sort of level, and I don't think that would be a huge improvement at that. I think that this is just going to be a perfect steel for this use. And that's about it. That's about it. Let's get out of this review in a little shorter time. I want to get this uploaded so everybody can see this. It is absolutely, absolutely wonderful. Got that jumping up here. Get your thumb beyond the rotation point right here to help guide that front end for your fine cutting tasks. Damn, this knife is so good. It is so good in the hands. It is so good in a reverse grip. You can butt cap on a flat back here. You do have a little bit of a striking butt in here. I didn't mention, but it does come with one of the box woven lanyards on it, which I promptly removed because I can't stand a lanyard on a fixed blade knife of this size. But that is in the box there for you guys that are interested in that. It is perfect for what I was looking for. I do not know how this could be designed any better for what I was looking for, which is a backup knife, a concealable full size, but on the compact side type of fixed blade. I'm glad they went with 120 thousandths stock thickness. I think that is an excellent choice. It keeps the weight down on this. Again, 3.63 ounces or 103 grams for the knife. That's very good at a 4-inch blade length. There you go. Everything is very good. Everything is perfect. Everything is exciting about the Civivi Stormridge, and I am 100% highly recommending this knife. Buy it wherever you want, but just get one. And you know what? I think that satin version with the green micarta, that would be really nice. Maybe a little more fancy-nancy looking, but getting the same design and performance and price point. So there you go. As always, I thank you very much for taking the time to watch one of my videos. God bless all of you, and we will talk to you again.